Hi guys, welcome back to my channel PV Banks, and I'm going to give a quick overview of yesterday's trades and then we'll go on to today's. So yesterday, starting off with gold, I had quite a few losses on London session. So as you can see, there was a buy signal, so I went in, and FVG was also present right here, so it was a perfect entry for me. However, price went against me, so unfortunately London session was not good. Moving on to New York session, unfortunately gold was ranging, so I did not take an entry. With these wicks, it did not give me the assurance needed to actually enter a trade, and I'm happy I didn't, because as you can see it was ranging for quite a while until it did show momentum around 4:45 UK time. But I try not to continue trading after a certain time. I think it's good to have a good work-life balance. So that's a sum up of gold. Let's go on to US 30. So US 30 was a great start. There was also an FVG present right here, and I do like having an FVG as an extra confluence. So there was a sell signal and FVG present between these, and so for me that was a good entry point. Now I made a mistake yesterday by upping my risk to reward. Now, as you know from the day before, it showed potential, but of course the day that you decide to go for the 2Rs, market goes against you, and that's exactly what happened. So this did reach 1.74. However, I was going for the 2R, and I did not want to close, and in that time it unfortunately retraced and ended up in another loss. So it was around here where my stop loss was, that I did get taken out, unfortunately. So if I had stuck to my 1.1, I would have definitely got that around here. However, changing my risk to reward and the market of course showed me why I should maybe stick to 1.1 or increase slowly, so maybe go to 1.5 instead of, you know, jumping to the whole 2R. Nonetheless, in New York session, there was a buy signal and there was a really big FVG over here, and that was a good entry point for me, and also another FVG right here. So it was kind of like bullish FVGs on top of each other, and that was a good entry point for me. Now, as you know, because I did have the losses in London, I didn't want to take any further loss, so I did cut my trade short at 0.68. However, if I had held on for my 1.1, it would have been absolutely fine because it did give that. However, as you can see, it would have probably taken me out first, and then I would have got a 1.1. So I'm quite happy that I did take my profit at this point. Sometimes you just need to grab your profit, especially if the market was like it was yesterday with lots of red news. Grab your profit, get on with your day. Let's go on to NAS 100. So NAS 100 again, London session was a loss. There was a buy signal. FEG was also present. However, price action and I guess due to the news, it all went against me. So unfortunately, that did end up in a loss. Now, I do usually take a second entry. However, yesterday I did not. And even then, if I had, it wouldn't have done much difference, if I'm honest. So going on to New York session, again, it looks the same as US 30. I did cut this short at 0.5, and then it did continue. However, it would have taken me out. So I'm quite happy to have grabbed the profits that I did, especially with yesterday's price action and with red news. Sometimes it's okay just to cut it short and close with profit, especially after having all the losses in the morning. The New York session, I kind of had made up my mind that I would just take the profit, get back to break even, and then I'm in a good place for the next day. So this was a recap of my Tuesday 24th of October trades, and this is my PNL. And now let's go on to today's. So this is today's gold trade in London session. Again, there was red news at 9 o'clock, so I kind of was conscious about that, and I entered on the sell signal. And there was also an FEG present, so as soon as the FEG was confirmed and there was a little retracement, I did enter. However, I did exit when I did see a wick pull back, and I did close at 0.4 for risk to reward. I was also mindful of the 9 o'clock red news, and also after feeling the wrath of red news yesterday, I did not want to hold my trades. And I think that's fine. I think you can just take your profit whenever you want. This was today's trade. So as much as it shows this is what I wanted, and it kind of got close. It was very, very close to previous day high as well. So with my entry again, there was an FEG, and I was hoping that it would push up a bit more and it would be a good trade. However, there was red news again, and I did not want to stick around for that. So what I did was enter as per usual, entry over here after the FEG. However, minding the other trades, I missed the retracement, and then there was a massive candle, and I just decided to get out. So I got out when it did retrace a bit. However, I got out in a slight loss, and I'm quite happy I did, because preventing a bigger loss is also part of risk management, and that would have definitely been a massive loss. So getting out in a small loss, although I would have loved to have got out up here, and maybe I do need to just stick to 1.1 at the moment, because that would have been a great profit anyway. But you gotta learn, and you gotta try to gain a bit more every day, which is what I'm doing. So it didn't quite work out today or yesterday, but I know it will, so I have to keep at it. Let's go on to US 30. On London session in US 30, I entered the sell signal. This was a semi-good trade, I would say, although I did cut it short. As always, stop loss on the other side of the range, and this is where I cut it short. I got 0.6, a risk to reward, and this is because, again, timing, news, and I saw that it started reversing, so that's my timing and my intuition put together. I just thought I would exit, and I'm quite happy I did, because I would have been taken out. So sometimes you really do need to use your judgment, and if you can see, this whole area is grayed out, and that is the new week opening gap. So that is what I was mindful of, because I thought it could be bouncing off the new week opening gap, and then it can retrace, and it kind of did. If I'm honest, it did go up quite a bit. So I do usually take a second entry, however I had got good enough profit then, so I didn't. And even if I did take second entry, I would have been taken out again. So I'm happy with what I took today in London for US 30. In New York session I have no idea what happened, but indices were melting. So there was an FEG present here, and that was a good entry point alongside the sell signal. So this is where I entered. And I aimed. There was also news, red news today, so I kind of wanted to go in and out quickly. So I did aim for 1R. However, it did go for a lot more, and actually has still been going up and down since then. However, let's see how much I could have gotten. Okay, so I could have gotten 2.53, which would have been absolutely amazing, and I probably would have passed my account 10, but it's fine. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, so I'm quite happy to take profit even on high red news days. For me, that's a win, because it can be quite detrimental. So this was my trade for US 30 today, and having a win in both sessions is absolutely amazing. Let's go on to NAS 100. So NAS 100 of course follows US 30, and so yes, it was a sell. There was an FEG present here, if it draws out. Right there. So that was a good entry point with a sell signal. It's always good for me. And that was my entry criteria. So this is where I went in, and I aimed for 1.1R, and that is exactly what I got. So full TP today for me on NAS 100 in London session, which made my day. It's always a good day when you get profit really quickly before news hits. I'm extremely happy on those type of days. New York session again was a really good trade, and indices were just melting in New York session, so news definitely did something. Again, there was an FEG, which always gives me an extra confidence on my trades, and this is where I entered once the FEG was confirmed, and I aimed for 1R. So this was my trade today, quick and instant. take profit, no drawdown at all. Can you believe that? How amazing is that? So it did continue melting, and of course you can't help but feel FOMO. I would have loved to have stayed in this trade, and that was a good 3.08 risk to reward, which again I would have passed my account with, but it's fine. I'm happy to have taken what I did today, and especially with the red news, if you can just grab your profit and go, that's even better, because this is a hindsight view. There's always two sides to the coin. It could have easily come back and gone up, and we've seen that happen so many times. So as much as we feel like, we could have stayed longer and should have held on, as you can also see, I tried to just increase my risk to reward to 2 R's, and I haven't been able to get that. And then at times that I could, I moved back to 1 R, and this is exactly what happens in trading. But profit is profit, so I don't mind sometimes taking it early. At the end of the day, we want to pass our challenge account, and we just have to adjust to that. So this is my P&L for today. Now don't forget, there is also a discount with WealthWavesProfits. As you can see, it is working tremendously well. I find it super easy. Doing a 9 to 5 and using WealthWavesProfits for my trading makes life so much easier. And if you are like me, you are working, or you just want a system to tell you when to enter, and just stick to a strict, risk to reward, or if you want to draw out lines, you can, and see where it might go for liquidity. Do it. It's entirely up to you, but at least it gives you a bit more of a clear idea of when to enter your trade and the timing and all of that. It makes it so much easier. So there is a discount code in the description, but I will put it up here as well. It is Banks350 off. Please visit WealthWavesProfits website, their Instagram. You can see my results. If you do want to sign up, the link is in description, as well as a discount code. Make use of it, and join me again tomorrow.